Oh my goodness. I kind of can't believe what ChatGTP has come up with. I just asked ChatGTP here's my exact promise. Like, give me language analysis for a CELTA lesson plan focused on teaching the present perfect. So really, replace that with any grammar. And in this video, I want to give you my honest CELTA tutor's perspective on what this is going to mean for, first of all, you as trainees, us as trainers, and indeed the whole endeavor of the CELTA course itself. First of all, it told me the present perfect tense is
formed with an auxiliary verb have in its different forms, followed by the past participle of the main verb. It's used to talk about actions or situations that happen in an indefinite time in the past, are still relevant to the present moment, or have connection.
Then, bullet point 2, so it breaks it down into bullet points, makes it super easy. It talks about the form.
Using the affirmative, subject plus have or has plus past participle.
Correct.
Negative, subject haven't or hasn't plus past participle.
Correct.
Question, have or has plus subject plus past participle.
So not only does it give me the correct answer each time, but it makes sure to give me the affirmative, negative, and question form. Okay, so I'm a CELTA tutor. You're CELTA trainees. What's my angle on this? Well, first of all, everything that's in there is correct. It's just the right information. So, could you receive your TP points, go home, do your lesson plan, and just ask ChatGTP to do in 10 seconds what would maybe take you an hour or 2 hours and a whole bunch of research? Could you do that? Yes, you could. And could you submit that? And me as a tutor reading it, what I read, yeah, this is all correct. So, as I said from the outset, what's the impact of this? What's the knock-on effect? Well, first of all, for you as trainees, it's easier for you. It's quicker. It's less stressful. It's like happy days, no? For us as tutors, we get the right answers. So, happy days again. We don't have to give feedback or, we don't have to worry that our trainees aren't getting it. So, great. The CELTA course, well, you're getting these really consistent and correct language analysis lesson plans. So it seems like maybe the quality of CELTA will improve when the assessor comes around. But all is not as rosy as that might look. First of all, for you as a CELTA trainee, the problem, and it is a big problem, is this cuts out you having to do anything they want. You don't have to do any research. You don't even have to try and understand. You give a question to this AI, it gives you the answer, copy, paste, boom, done. You didn't have to try and understand even what the present perfect is. You didn't even have to think about what the meaning, form, pronunciation, any of those things are. You can just give this right answer to your tutor and boom, you're done. But you haven't learned anything. The point of view of us as tutors, I'm definitely going to want to investigate more. I'm going to want to ask questions of the trainee to make sure that they really understand it. And, for the CELTA course itself, do I think that this could, spell the end for it because ChatGTP is taking over? I don't think that it's going to spell the end because, we are human beings after all, and we do have an uncanny sixth sense for finding things that aren't true, that aren't real, that aren't from a person. So I don't think that the CELTA course itself is in jeopardy. Another thing, like if I, having read in detail the language ask that was given back was so perfectly laid out. However, it gave much more than would be, expected for, a 45-minute teaching practice or a 1-hour teaching practice, depending on the way it's done there. Like all of the practice activities, it gives 4 practice activities. So if you were just to take this at face value, you did these 4 practice activities, you wouldn't even have time to do the 4 practice activities that it suggests here. Also, if I go into the teaching techniques again, guided discovery, concept checking questions, yeah, you probably would use those 2 in tandem. Contextualization, error correction, all of those would come into play. So, that's probably good. The Lexis it suggests there, it depends on the aim of your lesson, whether you're going to be including those in the aim of your lesson or not. That's a decision still as a human being, as a teacher, that you need to make, whether that's included in your lesson. I hope this comes out in the video. Look at this bird. It's something I ever thought of before. Pelican or something. Wow. Anyway, the things you see when you're on the banks in Mississippi. And then if I jump over to the beginning here, this is the part that really jumps out at me, the function or meaning part that it's talking about here. So let's talk about experiences, talk about unfinished actions, talk about recent events, and talk about changes over time. Those are 4 different uses or functions, as I call here, the present perfect. And unless you had a 2 or maybe 3 hour lesson, you would never teach all 4 of those in one lesson. You would choose one of them, and you would narrow that down into your lesson A. Now it's occurring to me now as I'm making this video, could you ask ChatGPT, could you give it a more refined prompt and say, this is for a 1 hour lesson, I want you to give me just one use of the present perfect? I'm sure that you would be able to get something that's approximating what a human being would produce. But recently I came across this quote from Noam Chomsky, a great linguist, and Chomsky says ChatGPT is basically high-tech plagiarism and a way of avoiding learning. He's absolutely right. First of all, the way ChatGPT works, basically it gobbles up the internet and it makes statistical predictions based on what's on the internet already. Also, as good as this particular search was, ChatGPT even itself recognizes that it's not always accurate. Sometimes it's, drawing from sources that are not there. They're not real, they're not accurate, they're not recognized, they're not correct sometimes. Sometimes they're like really off, but it could draw from those sources, in which case it would basically be giving you a whole bunch of rubbish. It's probably not a big surprise that I'm going to advise that you don't even use ChatGPT at all. You have that guidance, what's being asked of you. You have the guidance of your tutor. You have YouTube channels like my own out there giving you advice. So really, I don't see any good use for you as a trainee. Now, I'm sure there are going to be trainees out there. I'm sure there's even going to be some of you who are watching this video and you're going to say, you know what? I'm just going to stick with GTP. I'm just going to go with it. I'm just going to keep it looks good enough to me. That means that I don't have to do my homework tonight, so I'm just going to use it. Nobody can stop you doing that, but I'm going to say that we're going to notice this mismatch between how you're teaching and what's in your lesson plan. We're going to say, wait a minute, what's going on here? And the more we ask questions, it'll become apparent that you won't have understood what's asked of you. So yeah, my advice to any of you trainees out there who are thinking about using this tool, dare I call it that, just avoid it. It's you're just setting yourself up for basically, being told that your work is plagiarism. And at best, you might get a rap in the knuckles and told, don't do that again. Or at worst, it could jeopardize your entire course. And, I know CELTA is it's not cheap. So, don't risk that. For tutors, if any of my colleagues out there are watching this video, I know that you are aware of this. I know what I'm going to do going forward. I guess that you're probably going to do something similar. Just really ask some questions and feedback and guided lesson planning. See you much. I'm going to let this truck go by on a golf buggy or something there. Investigate your trainee's work just a little bit more. It's incumbent upon us to do it now. And really, the last part that I was thinking about there, the actual CELTA course itself, I think CELTA will survive this. I don't think it's in jeopardy. I think that we'll still be here training people how to be teachers well into the future. Please do as well. Share this video with anybody you think might find it helpful. You can reach me on Instagram, Facebook, and you can get me on email as well. If that's something that you want to do, you can contact me at info@integratedskillsacademy.com, and I'd be happy to respond to you there if you want some extra help with your CELTA or your Trinity or your TEFL course. Please do reach out to me. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and all that's left for me to say is I'll see you in the next one, and bye for now.